Hey everybody, welcome back to Kratom Kingdom, where again we will be talking about K and the tea that I make from K. Unfortunately, you'll be noticing some subtle differences in this channel now because certain keywords are blocked, and I'm sure you know what those keywords are by now. And I'm not talking about ketamine, because I have nothing to do with ketamine at all. I've never used it, don't want to use it. I've heard it's a really great, effective medicine by a trained psychiatrist for discovering depression and helping treat depression. That's all I know about it, though. I've never really gone into it because I'm quite happy with my tea. So anyway, today I wanted to talk to you about my tea routine because it's very specific and it works for me. And I wake up, I go to bed at about 7, 8 at night because I'm old, 54, and I have no friends and I have no life. So I usually lay in bed at about 8 o'clock at night, wake up at about 5 in the morning, and get out of bed because there's no way with my anxious mind that I'm going to be able to sleep again. And all my doctors have refused to give me a sleeping pill. So I am stuck with this sleep schedule. So the very first thing I do is wake up and I have a cup of coffee to try to wake up a little bit. Then I'll have because I'm so stiff and sore from the way I sleep, or don't sleep, that I'll have about 5 ounces of red, hot red, and I'll sip it while I'm watching YouTube or the news or whatever. And once that cup is gone, I will then have a cup of green, about 5 ounces of green, because green is a little more energizing to me in my experience. It's different for everyone. Then I'll have another cup of red if I don't feel loose enough, and today I've had 2 cups of red and I feel fine. Then after that many cups of K, I will go back to having a cup of water, because K really dehydrates you. You'll notice when you're drinking it, you're urinating quite a few times a day. So it's really important to consume water in between every 2 or 3 cups. And then I'll have another cup of coffee, because I'm addicted to coffee, and I suffer from chronic fatigue syndrome, and I'm hoping to get a prescription or something for that. They make something called Cafagar, which is like 1,000 milligrams of caffeine, and I was prescribed it before for my migraines, and it worked great. I mean, it would really help with my migraines because it would wake me up and get the blood vessels of my brain flowing better, and it was just a good medicine for me all the way around, and they stopped it. It wasn't a controlled substance, it was just my there's no doctors in Knoxville, they're all nurse practitioners, and which drives me crazy because I see a doctor once, then they transfer me to their nurse practitioner because they're too busy seeing other patients and sending them to nurse practitioners. So it's just, Knoxville has a really messed up medical system. I'm hoping to move back to Florida with a really old friend of mine. Her mother has a house that she owns in North Palm Beach, Florida, which is where I was from, that has I guess it's called a stepmother suite off to the side. It's a living room, a bedroom, and a bathroom, and a small kitchen. And I would be really excited to move there, but I'd have to fly my brother here from Lake Worth, Florida, rent a U-Haul truck, put all my stuff in the U-Haul, and transport it to Florida. Or I could take the chance and wait another year and get social services to get me a crappy ghetto apartment here in Knoxville, which I don't really want, and I'm scared because my family's starting to play games and being really nice to my mom, which only means they're trying to divide us again. You know, because my mom chose to let me stay here until she dies, and who knows when she's going to die. I don't want her to die, but on the good side of it, I'm really happy that they're getting along with her now because they gave her about $100 worth of groceries yesterday, which was out of nowhere and beautiful. So I know my mom won't starve when I'm gone. And that was one of my big fears, was that no one was going to feed her, because she can't feed herself. She's just not capable financially. And she can't even get to the grocery store to get the food. I just wish my sister would talk to me. Just say hi, just look at me and acknowledge my existence. But I think I burned that bridge, and which leaves me with absolutely no family here. But if I move to North Palm Beach, Florida, my brother lives in Lake Worth, which is only 15 minutes away, and I could visit him daily and feel like I have family and backup. But it all depends on how much rent my old friend needs for that apartment, because it's part of her income, because she's on Social Security now too, because she's rather old. She was my very first girlfriend's mother, so she's about as old as my mom is now. And I have no interest in my first ex-girlfriend, because we have a sordid history. But she's a very kind, beautiful person. She always has been. But she and I went through some very bad stuff, and I'm not interested. So anyway, so I have my morning routine spelled out for you. After that last cup of coffee, I'm still sitting here bored because I have no routine during the day. So until 12 o'clock, when my mom wakes up and I can help her, I'll get her coffee, get her some breakfast, and whatever. So I will drink another cup of green, because green is kind of a neutral for me. It kind of gives me energy. It tastes good. I love the taste of it, because with all the lemon I put in it, it's just like drinking warm, sweet lemonade, and I love it. The citric acid in lemonade, it just tickles the back of my throat, and I'm addicted to that. And it'll swap back and forth throughout the rest of the day until about 4 o'clock, when I stop drinking K altogether, because I don't want to pee all night. So from 4 o'clock on, I'll start drinking glasses of water, and that's helped me out immensely. But I still clench a lot because of my anxiety. My anxiety situation still hasn't gone away. And DP, every month you've helped me immensely, because I can't afford to buy K anymore. My budget has just gotten out of control, and my rent situation is going to be going up wherever I move. If I move into the ghetto, or if I move to Florida, it's going to cost me about $2,000 to move there. Not only have $100 in my savings, or $350 in my savings. And it depends on how long she'll hold that apartment for. I'm gonna try. She's a very old, great friend of mine. I've known her for 40 years. But we've not been in touch for about 40 years. Because I didn't invite her to my wedding, so I just didn't think it was appropriate. And she saw me after my wedding and punched me in the arm and said, "Why didn't you invite us?" And I was like, I just didn't want any drama. And, because she's the one that finally said, "Okay, stop. You and my daughter are not going to date anymore." And she said, "My ex-girlfriend's not going to call me for 3 days. She was my first love, and I went through the worst pain I had ever gone through in my life. And if I go back to Florida, I will be jumping back on the straight edge train, because the friends that I have that are still there's 2 or 3, are still straight edge. And, well, one of them's a principal of a high school now, but he's got a big tattoo on his leg that says drug-free. And he says he's not straight edge. But he says he enjoys a beer every now and again. But Steve and I have, we were both educators, both drug-free. And now he's the principal of a school, which I think is amazing. And he preaches no drugs. Has a zero tolerance for drugs in his school. Has lots of meetings with parents if he suspects that a child in high school is using dangerous or illicit drugs, and he'll talk to their parents and try to give them some information about how to keep an eye on it, don't support him with so much money, because money to kids in South Florida is an open invitation, because there's drugs everywhere in South Florida. I mean, you can buy it, just walk out your front door in any neighborhood you live in, rich, poor, whatever. And he lives in Fort Lauderdale, which is pretty hardcore, close to Miami, which is the drug capital of what I would say besides California, it's heavy duty, and besides the Appalachians with oxys and narcotics, which is slowing down considerably. I don't know why. I think K is slowing down the use of H quite a bit, because it relieves pain, it stops you from being dope sick. I mean, there's only good things about it, and I truly hope that it grows and grows and grows. I just got introduced. An Indonesian farmer just emailed me and sent me just messaged me on Facebook and sent me some clips of his farm that I'm going to include in this video, which might make it a little bit longer. So feel free to skip through those, because they're just short video snippets of his farm and his store. In my opinion, he's storing way too much. He's got a warehouse or a farmhouse full of boxes and boxes and boxes of sealed kratom. And he wants to sell it by the ton, but he told me he would sell like 15, I forgot what it was. It was a lot, like 17.5 kilograms for like $700. And I was like, dude, none of my subscribers are going to pay that much for that much kratom. They just don't need it. But maybe if a kratom distributor is listening to my channel, that might be a good deal for them, because that's a lot of kratom, or a lot of K. And so it might help him out financially there, but not just from an individual K user, because we know it's a lot cheaper and we can get it at smaller quantities. And I'm trying to really slow down my K use because it's too expensive. If it wasn't for DP, I would have none this month and be freaking out, because I'm titrating off of my anxiety medication at the same time, by my choice, because I don't want to be locked into a medicine that I can't get off of, or that I can't live without. With my tea, I'm able to exist without taking all this tea all day long to stay sane. I'm hoping there's some other avenue eventually besides benzodiazepines that can control anxiety. I've really gotten into meditation, and my psychiatrist thinks that my antidepressant should be good enough for anxiety, but it's not, and it's not even working for my depression anymore. I'm starting to get depression, so I'm finding K is keeping me level with depression. And good news, and if I have money in my wallet or in my bank account. Without money in my bank account, I'm terrified and anxious and always thinking about the future and how it's going to be terrible because I'm going to be homeless, living on the street, nobody cares about me, and blah blah blah. But alright, y'all, I love you all very much. Thank you for everything you do for me. Thank you for watching my videos, especially this long. I'm getting closer and closer to being monetized, and at the same time, YouTube is making it more and more difficult for me to make videos because of restricting my content. But I'm going to do the best I can. My last video didn't do nearly as well as ones that talk about K, and none of them do as well as the ones that talk about K and how to get. There's YouTube channels talking about two gringos go to Mexico and do mescaline. It's like, and YouTube, and they've got like 12,500 subscribers, and they're getting 5 million views, and I talk about a harmless substance that I've got one warning against me. Another warning turns into a strike. 3 strikes, your channel's gone. So I have to be careful because I love this channel. Alright, y'all. I will see you in the next one. Peace out. Love you.